Early in the morning.
Yeah, man. Early bird catches the worm, man.
I can still taste the toothpaste in my mouth.
Me too.
That's how early we're recording
Me too.
today.
What toothpaste do you use? I use Sensodyne. Like, great toothpaste.
Really, do you have sore teeth? Do you have teeth problems, or you just prefer it?
I just prefer it.
Yeah,
I just prefer it.
I'm Aquafresh.
Aquafresh. Oh,
Yeah.
It leaves that weird
Sometimes
thing in
it
my
gives you the kind of little like a crack hoe.
yeah,
Little spittles.
exactly.
Looks like you've been smoking some crack. This is Working Title FC. Welcome to it. We got you back. We disappeared for a while. We got you back. Welcome to anyone who's finding us on iol.co.za. We're a sports podcast. We're an award-winning sports podcast. But
I like how you always throw that out.
Yeah, you got to. Like Leicester.
No, but that's true though. It's like when you see actors in a movie, Academy Award winner, Academy Award nominee.
It doesn't exactly.
You have to tell the people who you are.
This is should we on our cover art put 1 star above our cover art?
Yes.
Like England.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
1 star.
Oh, and if you're a club, continental title, you put
1 star for every 10. I think let's put 1 star up there. Working Title FC, thank you for finding us on all your major podcast platforms. We are going to go through its international break as a chance to just like go,
what's happening?
What's happening? What has been happening in the world of football every week? We try to cover what's happening at that moment, but we're going to go a little bit retrospective and kind of cover the things that have surprised us so far this season. Interesting talking points of the season so far. And then a couple of things that have popped up in the news this week. What we call it, Football 5 aside. Plus, we've got a documentary review, sports documentary recommendation, and the final installment of our old series, Goat Farm, before we kick off with some new ones.
There you go.
There we go. That was the one.
No worry, it's still early in the morning.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Don't worry. No, I'd when you get to school and it's a Friday and someone's on matric and the guy's hair's not quite right and his tires kind of it's business at the front, party at the back.
That's the thing. It's the type of morning where you got to make sure that you hit record, which thank God I have. So listen, 5 aside, each one of us brings 5 sports stories to the table. We've got 10 stories for you today. Things that we found interesting this season. I want to start off with the very obvious Arne Slotting in. Liverpool, I was really hoping that they were going to have their kind of Moyes moment.
Yeah.
And it's not been that way so far.
No, man, they're keeping him moving like a drive-by. But like I said, we've alluded to this in previous shows, or we've talked about it ad nauseum. But it's the way that Klopp was setting up the team for the next guy. You could see what he was trying to do, and which is not what Ferguson did for Moyes. But also Moyes did deserve time. They didn't give him any time.
So let's make that comparison. Liverpool currently sitting top of the table. They've won all but one match.
They lost to Nottingham
Forest.
At home.
They are scoring goals, but they're not conceding goals. They only conceded 2 goals this season.
Yeah.
I think about that. 7 games have only conceded 2 goals.
Bro, that's stability. But don't you... If you're short up at the back...
That's where it starts, right?
Yeah. That's where it starts. Because if we're not conceding, then, Because, the goals do dry up at some stage. Goals do dry up. So, but if you're keeping clean sheets, then who cares? Especially,
when you consider we all thought Van Dijk is washed. We thought Trent is not a defender. And Arne Slot's just gone in. Now, listen, I'll figure out how to get better out of Van Dijk. Trent, you're a fullback. None of this inverted midfielder, none of that clever stuff. You're a fullback. And then, of course, you got Alisson, who's going to bail you out of a lot of stuff. Alisson or Edison, who's the best keeper in the Premier League?
Alisson can actually
keeper,
make saves.
Right?
He can actually make saves, and he's decent with his feet.
Yeah, I don't know how Edison would do in a team that doesn't dominate.
Yeah,
because he's great for what City need to do.
Yeah,
but he
gets found wanting a bit too much at times, and he makes
and he gets away with it because of the team he's got.
Yeah, schoolboy errors, but also who's number one when it comes to the country.
Well, yeah, okay, there you go. So the other thing about Liverpool is he also set up Klopp left him a plethora of strikers.
Yeah,
to rotate with, to kind of try. So you've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I would be worried if I was Darwin Nunez. He doesn't seem to be that kind of... What the difference is about with what you're kind of seeing is that Slot was kind of like a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, Klopp was a lot of chaos. Slot is a little bit more organized, and I think Nunez totally worked into that chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it kind of works with what Slot's doing.
I think you know Darwin Nunez is now. Now it's when the real fraud watch starts, because it's like, okay, cool, one guy used you. Like, honestly, we know what kind. But I think if he doesn't do well this season, if he doesn't do well by the middle of the season next season, they're going to ship him off in January.
I got a feeling he doesn't make it that far. I reckon that he's kind of like on the out next season.
You think so?
I can see them letting him go. He just doesn't seem to fit in that.
There's no plan.
What they're doing. Yeah. He's chaos, and it's fine. It works. He's a big guy. He's unpredictable, and
he can do a lot. Yeah, he's got a bit of everything.
Yeah, and I think it was. I'd be very surprised if he's still there next season.
But like, okay, then who do you think picks him up then? Where would he be suited to play? What team?
Oh yeah,
for me, he's suited for Spanish football.
Yeah. Atletico Madrid all over him.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the call.
Yeah.
Big call. Paulo's big call.
Yeah. The dog.
Darwin Nunez to Atletico Madrid.
Dogs United.
Oh, him and Simeone. Oh my word.
The match made in heaven.
Big old dogs. dogs.
It's just that one's Uruguayan and the other's Argentinian, but they could make it work.
Hey, they make it work, man. They you know, when South Americans in Europe, they'll band together. Yeah, and then when they go back to South America, they're kicking shit out of each other.
That's right. Yeah.
So, you know, you brought up Moyes because obviously that's the comparison that you do make. You have a successful manager. Of course, Klopp nowhere near as successful as Ferguson. Only one title, let's not forget. But anyway, this is an aside. And, you know, I saw it this week on that of somebody telling, I don't know. It was Ferdinand sprouting shit as usual.
And Ferdinand gets a bit too excited.
And somebody kind of sprouted shit. Say, you know what? Keep your mouth shut, because you guys threw Moyes under the bus. You senior players threw Moyes under the bus.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying. Ferguson left a title-winning team for Moyes.
Yeah.
He left Van Persie.
Yeah.
He left Vidic. Evra. Ferdinand.
Rooney.
Yeah. Giggs. You know what I'm saying? Carrick. He left a title-winning side there.
De Gea.
Now, did... Moyes say the wrong things to them? Was he trying to do too much too soon? Did he upset?
Paulo, I rate
those guys threw him under the bus.
Paulo, I rate you could have put anybody in that situation. Yeah. That's why Pep said I wasn't going to touch that job, because you've got guys that have played together for years and years and years, and they played together under one guy. They played together under God. Do you think they're going to come in and say, no, anybody who came there, we're going to say this guy's not going to tell us anything?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, all of those guys are very quick to rent a quote when it talks about these players don't care for United. These players are this about United. These players give in. It doesn't matter who your manager is. You should be playing for Manchester United. You're another standard bearer. So those guys are very quick to have a say now. Where he goes, no. When you in that, you forget, because when you're in that position,
you guys got somebody canned in 7 months.
Yeah. You weren't about Man United. Yeah. You were about, I don't like that guy, so I'm going to get rid of him.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, he goes, okay, forget him. That team managed itself. That team could have coached itself. That dressing room could have run itself.
Because you don't just forget everything that has been instilled in you in one season of football. You know, and it's not like anybody bought like anybody like Blockbuster.
No. And it was a transition. And it should, like what Slot's doing now. No signings. Just went, okay, here's the team. I'm going to let them work themselves out. Yeah. There's a lot of leaders in that team.
Yeah, whoever doesn't want to be here, they'll be found out.
We don't know what Moyes did. But surely... such a powerful group of players could have gone to him and said, you know what, we got this. You got a shit job to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, after don't worry, we'll manage it as best. We'll manage it as best as we'll do what we do.
Yeah, we're not kids, but we shouldn't be finishing 7th.
Yeah,
which they did that season, right?
From 1st to 7th.
So, you know, I think it's whenever I see the ex-players have a shout, oh, they don't care about United. It's like, no, well, I don't think you did either. I think you threw Moyes under the bus. Another story has caught me from top of the Premier League to top of Serie A. Napoli,
bro,
and Scott McTominay.
Oh, McTominay.
Scott McTominay. I think it's being overblown, because obviously he's the one player that everybody knows, and nobody can ever give Lukaku any credit. Yeah. Antonio Conte went into Napoli. Talking about having a bad title defense. I think they went from Serie A winners to last season they finished bottom half of the table.
Yeah.
I think they finished bottom half. And bring Conte in, lose Osimhen. And then Conte's...
Osimhen went to Galatasaray, right?
He's on loan. He's on this weird loan thing to put him somewhere.
It's the Lukaku thing. It's the Lukaku loan. We all know that loan. But like it was never going to work out with Osimhen, because the thing is, like, Napoli were just waiting for somebody to 200 million them.
But the thing is, that's not the reality of the market. How many strikers across Europe aren't we seeing just sitting? Because their clubs value them more than probably football values them.
Yeah.
As much as a goal scorer is important, we see this kind of rise in non-scoring centre forwards.
Yeah,
they got to do other things.
I think the model's back now. But like when it comes to that, when it comes to that, speaking of those kind of strikers, there are only two in the world that are guaranteed, tried and tested. They can do everything and they're going to get you 20 a season. Mbappe and Kane.
Yeah, that's it.
Only them. Haaland, we know. Haaland's not going to get you. He's not going to assist you. We know Haaland, you're there to bang goals. Haaland will get over 20. Let's make no mistake. But in terms of what now strikers have to be, and what Mbappe and Kane are the best, like...
The entire game, yeah. So, Napoli doing really well. Serie A, top of the league. Conte, absolute Lukaku whisperer.
Yeah.
Lukaku has had no preseason and he looks so lean. What is Lukaku? What is Conte doing with him? He's only ever played well under him.
No, he shed the Megan Thee Stallion weight, bro.
Hey, that's it. Still was carrying some of that stuff there.
Yeah.
So McTominay gets called. Firstly, Paulo Di Canio. Remember him? The only reason he pops up this week is why he's relevant. He has to go include Manchester United, because he says someone at Manchester United should be, I think he said shot.
Yeah.
Overletting
but
McTominay.
He's a fascist, bro.
But exactly,
he's a fascist.
Did you see, speaking of Paulo Di Canio, a few weeks ago, he has a bit of a
great player, but he's a fascist.
Very good player. Great funny character. Pushed over a referee, hilarious.
When he was at Sheffield Wednesday.
Remember that, yeah. Pushed over the ref. That
Scored
was
a crack at West Ham.
He had his moments, that guy. West Ham, and when he was at Charlton as well, he also did some of the things.
Yeah.
But a couple of weeks ago, because he's a pundit on Italian TV, and a couple of weeks ago in the Milan derby, they had a moment.
Which Milan won, by the way, for the first time in like six fixtures.
Paulo Fonseca calls over. There's like a cooling break.
Wait, hold on. Do you think Paulo Fonseca's on?
He was at Roma for a while. Who really does well at Roma? Let's be honest.
Because we've got young owners.
You know what I mean? Let's really be honest about Roma. Paulo Fonseca he's a super intelligent coach. Also, I'm always going to back a Portuguese coach.
No, he is not Paulo, and you're going to back another Paulo.
You got to back a Paulo. We got to look after each other.
Yeah.
I wanted him as Portugal's coach when the job opened up.
I see where you're going with it.
But he is a coach that needs a time to get his teams playing well.
Yeah.
And I think if you give him that time, he's going to reward you. But
he's gotten the best out of Captain America. Pulisic looks he looks different. He looks.
But on the converse, and where the story's going, he's not getting the best out of Rafael. And to the point where he wasn't playing him the first couple of games of the season, and puts him and Hernandez on in the Milan derby. And almost as soon as they came on, there was a cooling break. Yeah. So all the Milan players came to Paulo Fonseca, and Hernandez and Rafael, who both play on the left-hand side, stayed there. They didn't come talk to the rest of the team. So, of course, this was seen as a bit of you think you're bigger, and why are you not talking? Why are you not part of the team? Whatever. And both players explained it
and
going...
it's a Portuguese guy.
Right, and they both explained it of saying, listen, we had literally just come on. We didn't need water, and he had told us. He had given us instructions. So we were... And they were warm. They were keeping themselves warm because they'd just come on. They were limbering up or whatever. Yeah. And so Paulo Di Canio, flies into Rafael. You got a bad attitude. You're a rapper. You don't care about soccer. So all Rafael did was post that picture of him when he was at Lazio doing the fascist salute. And that's all Rafael. So I just posted that. Just with the little keep quiet emoji.
That's why I think I don't like Paulo Di Canio as well, because he was at Lazio. That's why. That's how I don't feel him.
Another thing. You see, I don't back a Paulo. P-A-O-L-O. Paulo, P-A-U-L-O. That are back. So Paulo Fonseca,
Portuguese Paulo.
Like I say, give Paulo Fonseca time, and he'll reward you.
Yeah. But I think had he botched that Milan derby, I think they were gonna can him.
He could have gone out very easily.
I think they were gonna can him if he botched the Milan derby.
I think he could have gone out very easily.
But the thing is, Milan were gonna fire him and get who?
But that's the thing with Milan, and they're. Milan are on this thing of just making sure they pay their debt and make money.
Yeah.
They won that Serie A title kind of unexpectedly.
I think it just fell on their lap and they're like, okay, we'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, Rafael had a crazy season. But give Paulo Fonseca time. Conte, I would be surprised if Conte doesn't win Serie A this year because...
Do you think Inter are tired?
Not tired. I think they're going to be distracted by Champions League. I think they're going to...
Yeah, because now there's big expectations.
They're going to have a hell of a run. I don't think Juventus are there yet.
Juve aren't, yeah.
I don't recognize this Juventus. It's like...
Neither do. It's like Chelsea.
Children. It's like, wow.
It's like watching Chelsea.
Thiago Motta already, getting people in there. So Scotty McAdonna, he has another thing that gets said about him. One of the greatest midfielders in Napoli's history.
No, come on.
After a couple of games, let's kind of just remember that they kind of had a guy called Careca playing there.
A guy called Diego Maradona.
I mean, if I'll be fair on that because Maradona was like a bit more of a forward player. But I mean, that's a...
Careca was there.
After 5 games, the greatest midfield, Marek Hamsik.
Well, I mean, come on, bro. Come on.
I'm all about saying things to get the headlines.
But come on, bro. Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy.
Speaking of chaos, though, that's McTominay.
He thrives on chaos.
Was United's top scorer last season? He must have been one of them.
Yeah.
How many times he won games, pulled out the fight
at the death, bro.
But he's chaos, though. He's a player that when you throw him on,
it's a Hail Mary.
No one else is going to play well. Because he is just going to run where he wants, shoot when he wants, pass how he wants. You go, you know what? We got to pull out the fire. Jurgen Klopp, he's got a new job. That's a nice new job he's picked up. He is Red Bull's global head of soccer. Now,
can I ask a question?
People are misconstruing what this means.
Can I ask a question? Do you think he when Red Bull are having they're having a Red Bull meeting, right, of everything they do. Do you think him and who's that guy? Who's Ginger Spice? Christian Horner. Do you think they butt heads?
As long as they each stay, and pun intended, in their own lanes. Because we know Red Bull don't like it when you get in their lane.
Yeah, they really don't.
Horner and Verstappen do not like it when you're in their lane. He doesn't like
German speaking.
No. So what this means is basically, so if you don't know...
so is it like that Arsene Wenger position that FIFA gave him?
This is what people are comparing it to. So if you don't know, Red Bull obviously own a couple of teams, right?
Leipzig.
The German one is the most controversial because they are RB Leipzig. The RB obviously standing for not Red Bull, but it's Rice Ball and something like that.
But come on. You've seen their sponsorship on their jersey and all that.
And the change of colours. They even changed the colours because they took over a small team in the German third division when they did, and they started changing their colors. So listen, it's a branding exercise. Now in Germany, people hate this because Germany's got 50-50 fan ownership.
Yeah.
I think it's 51%.
Yeah,
51%.
So a single entity, be that a national or a juristic person, can't own more than 49%.
Yeah. Bayern Munich have figured out a way how to get around that.
It's Bayern Munich.
But it's Bayern Munich. But in Germany, they hate this, right?
Yeah.
And then, like I say, no, all German clubs will be fan-owned. You're never going to have,
majority fan-owned
investment companies come in. You're never going to have oil states coming in. So they hate Red Bull in Germany. Everyone hates Red Bull, RB Leipzig.
Because they don't like
Everyone
hates
them. They also have RB Salzburg, makes sense. Yeah. They've got New York Red Bulls.
Yep.
Okay. They got 2 clubs in Brazil. They got Melbourne. They got Japan.
Mm-hmm.
There was one in Africa. There was somebody in Ghana they had, but that kind of fell out.
Yeah.
And then they've got investment into Leeds United in the championship. Okay. Yeah, right. So they got investment into Leeds.
So they're like the City Group.
I want to see one day what happens because they're going in slowly. So the first thing is they're putting the Red Bull logo on the Leeds jersey. No red yet, because Leeds are not going to have red on their shirt. But just wait. Over the next couple of years, let Leeds establish themselves.
Hey, you guys look like someone else now.
Back themselves into the Premier League and watch little red accents suddenly start popping up on Leeds kits. Mm-hmm. You heard it here first. So people are taking this as a thing of going, oh no, he's working for RB Leipzig. And now Klopp is Mr. Man of the people, his club. Dortmund is the ultimate
working
class. Liverpool, same thing.
Yeah.
And now he's going for the big conglomerate. So, it is an advisory role. He's responsible for management over all those clubs.
What does that mean? What does that mean in English? Layman's terms.
Strategic management. Okay, fucking what is it?
What is that?
You know what it does?
I'm the boss of the boss.
I'm a figurehead because.
Yeah.
Do you think Klopp's a PowerPoint guy?
No, not at all.
Do you think he's that guy?
I've never seen with Klopp. Did you see Klopp wear a suit the whole time?
That's what I'm saying.
Tracksuit cap,
That's what I'm
sneakers
saying.
all the time.
You know. So I think it is a figurehead position.
Yeah.
What it is though is that every manager in that Red Bull group, specifically the ones in Europe,
they're sweating.
They will be shitting themselves.
They are sweating
because they go. There is kind of a ready-made replacement. You know, doing the presentations, not making the presentations.
And doing them. Just telling you.
Doing them. Listen, it's a hell of a job. Nice job to get.
Oh, bro, it's very nice.
Consultants.
And also, he doesn't have to report to an old guy.
No.
Because didn't that geezer kick the bucket?
He did.
So now, there's a guy my age now who's controlling, who's got all the keys to the whole empire. Must be nice.
I want to see full-on cross-promotion.
Okay.
Firstly, yes, I want to see Klopp at Formula 1. Okay?
What, telling Christian Horner what to do?
So firstly, that's what I want to do. But then let's go into our other sports. Base jumping. Jurgen Klopp base jumping. Let's do Jurgen Klopp
motocross.
Speedboating.
Motocross.
Snowboarding. X Games.
Probably good. I think he'd take like a duck towards to snowboarding.
Do you think so? He's very long.
Yeah, he is very long.
I feel like he's like lanky. I feel you got to be a little bit, you can be tall, but not as like, I feel he'd hurt the shit out of himself. Because we've seen him be clumsy before. We've seen him lose glasses. Imagine takes a shot to the teeth.
Oh, bro.
That's going to cost a fortune. Yeah. Not even Red Bull have that money to replace those teeth.
Yeah.
So good luck, Jurgen Klopp. Bad luck to anybody.
Who has to report to him. But what happens? What does he? Does he sit them down? Does he do the performance review? What does he?
Dude, it is total figurehead. There is no work going on.
No, bro. Also, you imagine Jurgen Klopp, please come see me at 4.
No, there's no.
What, like, to see you for what, bro?
There's no work happening there.
Are we going for a pint or what?
Promotional stuff. Yeah. The Jurgen Klopp on the cans of Red Bull. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Here's a guy's back. Pog-Back again.
Oh, bro. But. Okay, no, actually, tell the people. I've got a theory about what happened with that.
Okay, so Paul Pogba, not my favorite, but he's not my favorite because of the potential of that guy.
Because how wasted it is. You feel cheated, hey?
Dude, you know what? So obviously, like...
No, I also don't hate him as a footballer. I think he shortchanged a lot of people.
And himself more so. You know,
yeah.
As United fans, we had this kid, Pogba, you got to hear about this. We heard about Pogba for years.
Yeah.
And this is kind of before like super mainstream social media.
Yeah.
So you'd like, I used to get United club magazines and you'd always like see Pogba. And there was like the early days of video content and MUTV would still get it in South Africa. And occasionally you'd see this kid. And then obviously the story of him going like taking on Ferguson.
Yeah.
Like who the hell's this reserve team player taking on Ferguson? Goes to Juventus, has that killer season or 2.
Yeah.
And then comes back to United.
Pog-Back. And then,
you know, the thing with Pogba is like, no shit, he could have been better than Zidane.
He could have.
Because he had everything Zidane had.
And
everything.
More.
And more. He could have been better than Zidane. Yeah. And for whatever reason, he wasn't.
Cloud, man.
Hyena curses. Who knows?
Nah, man.
Hyenas.
But, yeah, he got his... Or do you want to tell the people, Paulo?
So he goes back to Juventus, walks out of United contract, runs his contract down. I'm not going to go into my feelings on Pogba while he's at United, but runs his contract down, goes back to Juventus, and almost as soon as landing, they're either very strict with doping tests in Serie A, or they're very intentional of who they catch with doping tests.
Because all the people come out there, they come out from Serie A, exactly.
So... a doping, they pick up a banned substance. He claims it was a supplement given to him by his personal trainer. 4-year ban, and at his age, 4 years is pretty much done, right?
Because he was only going to come back when he was 35.
Yeah, and on appeal, it's been reduced to 18 months, so he can start training in January.
Yeah.
And I think he can start playing. He'll be available for next season. Right. So that's where we are with Pogba. Juventus are saying, look, will negotiate the release of his contract. I think, why do they need to negotiate? You're in contravention. You took a banned substance. You're found guilty. That's null and void.
Cheers, bro.
Mino's not here anymore, so we're not scared of your new agent.
Yeah.
So,
Mino died, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the situation with Pogba. Of course, every time you read a story this past week, Manchester United linked. Bring back. I mean, there's seriously, and I hope it's menacing. People are saying, bring Pogba back to United.
No.
It's like, are you
No.
you're obviously trolls. You're obviously trolls.
Like, what are we doing? Like, no. Take the Saudi money, Pogba.
You seen who's been linked to?
Tell me.
Marseille. Marseille got a bit of a rogues gallery there.
Yeah.
I saw something.
Rebels 11.
I saw something the other day. Said, who's Marseille's head of recruitment?
Fabrizio Romano.
And Rebecca Lawley. You know the one who put together the Suicide Squad. Yeah. The lady who put together the Suicide Squad, because they got Mason Greenwood there. Bring Pog-Back.
It's Fabrizio Romano.
So that's where he's being linked. Marseille. I don't think he was from there originally. Could it be?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. He was from Le Havre. He's from Paris.
Yeah, he's from Paris.
In the kind of previous iteration of PSG.
But do you know how his band got cut? That guy went to Africa. He was in Africa last month, so they gave him the things. They said, listen, they did something to him. They said, listen, yeah.
You think so?
Bro, come on.
Yeah, because, we heard the story. His brother put a voodoo curse on him. He had there's bones buried under Old Trafford's pitch. Only Martial knows where they are.
Bro, like, also, Paul Pogba, if you're hearing this, please, bro, please. Just do the right thing, bro. Please. We've suffered enough, bro.
Get the bones.
Like, you got your reprieve. Give us a chance as well, please.
We want the bones.
Honestly. You don't have to tell us directly. You like, your access card probably works. Come visit the lads.
Definitely. Listen, do you think there's access cards at United? You can just fucking walk in and out.
Oh, Rio went there to go look at players, and like, he didn't need an access card. He was driving the golf console. Rio, talk to your boy Pogba, please.
Because they got rid of they had a go at the IT department at Old Trafford.
Why?
At United. Oh, because you punched down. They had a go at them.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe part of that was like, okay, with budget cuts, no access cards. Just sign in and out. Hey, take your temperature at the door. So Pogba, that's got Saudi Arabia written all over it, doesn't it? Yeah.
We've seen this movie.
Let's jump ahead. to something. We got something called Fraud Watch and Fraud Alert. Fraud Watch is when we see your shenanigans, and we're gonna
call you out. We're gonna say, we see what you do,
that,
and we don't buy.
Fraud Alert means you're a fraud. We're spotting fraud. Is the Saudi Pro League a fraud?
Yes,
because it's been on Fraud Watch the whole time.
Yes,
makes a big deal starting off. Ronaldo, Neymar,
Benzema.
We're going to take Mbappe on loan. Big noise. Yeah. And since then, nothing.
Ivan Toney.
Really? When you're going from Benzema to Ivan Toney?
I mean, yeah, Osimhen, even Osimhen said
even Osimhen said no. They're kind of like, so fraud alert. Saudi Pro League on Fraud Alert.
Yeah.
What's going? I mean,
but do you think Ivan Toney must be like, what the hell am I doing here?
Oh, dude, he went from £40,000 a week to £400,000 a week.
Yeah, but it's close to $1 million after if you.
Yeah. I mean, all in. Look, he gets nailed because apparently their deal is, well, it's a more British thing. You get nailed huge if you leave within a certain time frame. So Jordan Henderson hardly made any of his money because he got taxed.
Yeah.
So hugely, but how can you not take 10 times your salary? Because none of the big clubs are biting on Tony.
And I think he got offended by that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, bro,
he took that personally.
Yeah, he did take it. But
right?
That career, well done, Paulo. I think after he saw Solanke going to Spurs, he's like, okay, maybe I could do something.
You had Spurs, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, even Newcastle, all viably needing a number 9 like him. Yeah. Or you can make an argument for all of them needing him, and not one of them.
But
not even.
I also would have said cheers.
At 40,000, and again, like Brentford probably valued it, and he wasn't like, I don't think he was even that expensive. Yeah, and he's not that old.
28.
And it kind of going, well, squad player.
I'll pay him 80, 100,000 pounds a week. He would have been chilled.
So I just think it's like good for him. Take the money, but that's the point. That's your biggest signing you're doing now. Do they come back? What do you think it is? Because obviously the first to get the attention they went after all became a bit of a retirement home. And I think that for some players it worked, some players it didn't. A lot of the players don't even live in Saudi Arabia. They fly in.
From where?
So they're staying either in Qatar
or,
I think they're staying
or the
Qatar.
UAE.
UAE, so they base themselves there and come in.
But also, what you going to do, bro?
Neymar was an absolute bust. Neymar
was a bust.
He is a bust. He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
He's still there. Just doesn't play.
Apparently, the rumors of David Beckham were taking him. David Beckham said, "Look, I got a good thing going. I don't need this guy."
Yeah, no, nobody needs that. And then their next thing was to go, okay, let's get the next generation of young players and kind of be the stepping stone. And now they're kind of like just nowhere. You know?
But it was always going to get found out.
It was going to get found out.
But we saw this model from China, and we were like, what did we say? We said, I've seen this. This does not work. It's not sustainable.
And they try to replicate it. Because obviously they've got Live Golf and they got other sports, but the difference is those are tours.
Exactly. Live Golf. Those guys don't have to live in Saudi Arabia. They play tournaments in Saudi Arabia and then they pack up and they're out of there.
That's it. So I think it becomes a very different thing when you're on the ground of football. And ultimately, for every team that's got Ronaldo, there are teams that are shit, like they're terrible. Another thing that's interesting though about Saudi Arabia, do you think the Saudis have lost interest in football? Because if you look at what's happening at Newcastle as well.
Yeah,
it kind of seems like, oh, okay, that's not really what
petered out. Like, it came out to it kind of petered out, and people were like,
yeah, because the rules changed. Newcastle can't spend the money that they would have wanted to, that they'd be allowed to. So
Nali also gambled it all.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, keep that guy away from the company credit card, from the expense account. If Saudi Pro League, Saudi involvement in football. Listen, they got their World Cup.
They got their World Cup. They got their World Club Cup.
They got that, so they're like, okay, cool, we're out. So you are on full fraud alert. A guy who is, I'm going to say something wild here.
Yes, say it. I love people that make wild statements. Violence.
We don't want to say things for like just to say spurious statements and whatever. For his level, and for he is, and for his potential, Mbappe, fraud watch. Big call.
Why? Now I must listen to this. Why?
That's a big call.
Why? I want to know why. Why? Because he doesn't have a Champions League. No, that's coming. No. That's loading.
Pound for pound, best player in the world, Mbappe. Haaland, best goal scorer.
Yes.
All-round player, Mbappe.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll take Mbappe over Haaland.
Yeah. As a player.
Yeah.
As a goal scorer.
For everything that you get. Because Haaland, if the goals go cold, he doesn't affect the game.
I think Haaland became, surprise, became Norway's all-time top goal scorer.
Wow.
I was surprised when I read the name of who it was. I would have expected it to have been Solskjaer.
Yeah.
It was somebody from the 70s that I never heard of. Yeah, I would have thought Solskjaer would have scored, would have been their top goal scorer. Anyway. Even somebody that was more recent, because I remember there was just Tor Andre Flo. There was an influx of Norwegian players in the Premier League. I thought it would have been one of them. Yeah. Anyway.
Morten Gams Pedersen.
Yeah, guy could take a free kick.
Yeah.
So Mbappe, long build-up, long run-up going to Real Madrid, and arrives at Real Madrid, and has, like we said, Mbappe is the only club that can calm Mbappe is Real Madrid.
Yeah.
PSG had no control over him.
Yeah.
He landed at Real Madrid and he's kind of gone, okay, look, this is Real Madrid. This is not
bigger than me, right?
Yeah. As well as he's been playing, I was kind of like, oh, it's
normal.
It's so fine. It's so good. Like it's, you know what I mean? He's walked into an absolute winning machine. Okay, they've kind of like stuttered a little bit on occasion this season.
No Jude, no party.
Compared to where they, they're friggin' Real Madrid. So
yeah, it's Real Madrid.
They draw a game and it's like, oh, geez,
crisis, bro.
Yeah, crisis. But I don't know. I don't know if I was expecting like 15 goals already.
Nah, bro.
For how strong Real Madrid are.
Let's share it. Let's distribute them evenly.
Do you feel that's what it is?
Yeah.
It's just a big.
Because it's Real Madrid. No one's going to take all the headlines unless your name's Cristiano Ronaldo.
But that's what I expected. Like Ronaldo hit the ground running. If I think about like when R9 went to Real Madrid, and I think about Zidane, and I think about like it was instant and it was wow, blockbuster. Yeah. But it's just been so like
Paulo, don't ask for violence, man.
Automated.
Don't ask for violence because when he starts,
you think so? You think it's
but also
coming?
He came from the French league because also you must understand the levels.
And he was barely playing the last few months. And listen, he didn't look himself at the Euro. either.
Yeah.
So
what do you think the problem was at Euro? Was it just like the weight of expectation? What was it?
I do think there was a physical problem with him.
Yeah.
I do think he wasn't playing much at the end at PSG.
Yeah.
You know, kind of Luis Enrique decided,
to hell with you, bro.
yeah, you know what, we got to move on from you eventually. So he was undercooked, I think, is the expectations. It's kind of like nobody in France does. And they're also going through a transition because they bring in a lot of young players and maybe they're kind of like letting him, I don't know. But so listen, maybe so it's fraud watch. You can get off the fraud watch list. You know, you can get off the fraud watch list. Fraud alert. Erik ten Hag still having a job.
He's got Ratcliffe's nudes. I'm telling you right now, he's got dirt on someone at United. He said, "Try me."
We really thought that when we stopped recording last week, by the time we open up the next show, we would have Ten Hag gone, but he still seems to be comfortably
They
there.
had a 7-hour meeting, my man.
Who fucking has? Can you imagine a fucking 7-hour
meeting with your boss?
God.
And you haven't been performing too hot.
Like there are so many.
So listen, if you have a 7-hour meeting with your boss, right?
And all your bosses.
All your bosses, they're all there.
They're all there.
7 hours of them telling you what, this, that, and the other. If you survive a 7-hour meeting with that and you didn't get fired after that, I think you're there for the long haul.
Do you
bro.
think you're there for all 7 hours? Or because it's a day.
No.
There's multiple things they're discussing in the day.
No, also, yeah.
Marketing for an hour, HR for an hour.
Also,
IT.
this guy's busy with the side for until a certain time. So when he's done, then we can.
Yeah, like maybe it was one of those where it's like, oh, listen, Eric, you're welcome to stay, but you don't need to. And he said, I'll stay. You know?
You want to show commitment.
Oh, no. So, listen, if he survived this week, after that United Villa is possibly one of the worst, and United have really played worst games. It's possibly the worst game. Worst I've ever seen United play.
Do you think if you lost that, then he was done for?
So, if you now think of this holistically...
Also, draw does nothing for us, though.
But it's not that. You just go, listen, United and the next team we're going to talk about is probably the reason for this. United don't get top 4 this season. United do not get top 4 this season. It's Chelsea, Arsenal. I mean, it's City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, right? Mm-hmm. United do not get top 4. I don't even think they get top 5 or 6, right? I can't even see that happening.
Yeah.
So... nobody changes that. Nobody changes that.
I think I've accepted that United. This is what we are. I've accepted. So
if nobody changes it, and you're going like whether it's Ten Hag or somebody else, we don't get that top 4. Let's just be very realistic here. You can have ambition, you can go for it, but let's just be fucking realistic here. You need 4 teams at least to really fall off,
like badly.
Right?
Like badly, like have meltdowns.
You need Tottenham to shit the bed. You need Villa to shit the bed. That's just to get near the top 4.
Yeah, that's just to reach out and touch.
Then you got Chelsea and Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool to shit the bed. You know what I mean? So that's the possible, and you to be untouchable. Basically to go unbeaten the rest of the season. To go
on right? on this crazy run.
Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. So why? You've backed him. You got the players he wanted. Why go do that now?
They say in Zulu, Khethile Khethile. You've chosen, my man.
Well, that's it.
Khethile Khethile.
You know what? Or is it just the fact that the Glazers are still pulling the strings? And just saying, no. Firing that man costs money. We don't like that.
Costs us money.
Listen, you know. Let me just tell you something. You fucking know. The thing that Erik ten Hag has done has made us wish for Pog-Back to come back and makes us actually go, you know what? Chris Woodward would have fired this guy. Ed Woodward would have fired this guy already. And and that's what Ten Hag has done. He's made us long for Pogba and Woodward. That's what he's done.
That's exactly what he's done. He said, listen here, you guys get a stay of execution because of me.
Let's mention Chelsea. We haven't spoken much about them.
Oh my God.
Everyone wrote them off. But what did we say?
Under the radar, bro.
Chelsea could have gone into a relegation this battle this season or challenged for the title. Neither would have surprised me. And they are doing really well. Off the back of Cole Palmer. Got to be the best player in the Premier League so far this season.
Bro, he didn't hit 4 in 1 half, bro.
Yeah, no, man. He is crazy.
And he hit 4 in 1 half.
Maresca just, despite all the players that they have, how many players they have, Maresca's just gone, here's my 11. And that's all. And if they fit, that's my 11. I like how he's been able to see the wood through the trees for that. But he's gone, yeah. Here's my 11. Because when you go, wow, geez, and it's a solid 11.
No, it is a solid 11. And the thing is, like, the thing is, at least what's going on off the field at Chelsea is not affecting what's going on the field, because also the players can't really do anything about who their owner is and who like, what are we supposed to do? What, we'll stop playing because like there are people talking in the boardroom about who's going to take out. We have to win. Our job is to win football games.
I've been wanting to talk to you about this. Kind of like Chelsea is a good example of it. You watch other sports, right?
Yeah.
Specifically American sports. And so you know better than me when we talk about like in the NFL, they got special teams.
Yeah.
Or they got a defensive lineup versus...
they've got offense and defense, yeah.
And they got a kicking team. So when they're receiving, they change. NBA specifically uses the 6-man really well.
Yeah, 6-man, yeah.
Right?
It's like a super sub.
Yeah. But you will always be super sub. You're not going to be part of the starting five.
You're not the starting five. You know your role. You know exactly.
You are the 6-man.
Yeah.
Like you, no matter what you do, or you are going to be number 6.
Yeah.
And it's very specific. Are you seeing, or are you noticing, like I am, this concept in football of starters and finishers?
Yeah.
Because games are actually running to close to 100 minutes now.
Mm-hmm.
You can make 5 subs.
Yeah, that's off your team.
And your squads are so big that you're starting to see this thing of like a team will run aside, like Duran from Aston Villa. I don't think that guy ever gets into the starting lineup because he has such a specific skill set coming off the bench at a certain time.
He knows what his job is.
And because your squads can get so big, because you're playing in so many competitions, that you are starting to see this concept of, I mean, if you change 5 players, that's half your whole outfield changed.
You basically you've changed the foundation of the team, basically.
And you can do that at 60 minutes, 70 minutes, knowing that I've still a good half an hour of this game to go.
Yeah.
Right? And if I got better players in that, and specific players who are going to come doing very specific things, that's an advantage. And this is what Chelsea have done, because they play a completely different team. They're in the Europa Conference League.
Yeah.
And that's what Maresca, I think, has done so well, in that he's got his 11, he's got his group of subs, and then he's got a completely different 11 and group of subs for the Cups.
But also, do you not, I think that does, it manages people's expectation in the team. You know your role.
Yeah.
You know where you stand with the coach, you know where you stand with the team, like, okay, cool. See that, and that's up to you to accept it, or it's either you accept it or you don't.
Yeah. The thing is, then it works as long as Chelsea are in the cups.
Yeah.
I think once they start going out the cups, those like Mudryk, very evidently not going to make the first team. There's going to be he needs to really pick up. So he'll be fine playing the midweek matches or the cup games once a month.
But I was like, coming back to Mudryk, I don't think it's also his fault, bro. I just think he went to Chelsea at the wrong time.
No, totally. I mean, he went off the back of a couple of good Champions League games.
No, but like Celtic. He was always going to go to England. Like he should have gone to Arsenal rather.
So woulda, coulda, because I think they didn't get him and they got Trossard. And I don't think one person who supports any club would rather have Mudryk over Trossard. Not even Chelsea supporters. Not even young Ryan.
Trossard knows. Trossard knows, and Trossard's a G.
But you see, Trossard is another example of like a special teams guy.
Yeah.
It's like he gets pissed off because it's like, but your job that you get brought to do, you're so good at it. Understand that's what we need here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're just going to start seeing more of this, especially as you start. Also, they're not going to take away competitions. There's not going to get less games.
Exactly. That's the thing.
There's only going to be more. So it goes, okay, well, I think expand our squads, give us more players, and then start having this dynamic.
Sign them down to like 9-year contracts.
Was it illegal now?
Yeah, you can't.
FIFA blocked that.
So like, coming back to the 9-year contract thing. What do you make of the Cole Palmer extension? I rate he shot himself in the foot.
It's protecting everybody. I mean, where does Cole Palmer go? You're not going to go back to City. Kind of like Chelsea, you're more than likely going to be able to achieve what you want at Chelsea. Chelsea will regularly compete for things.
You're safe.
I think you're safe. And then, if you really do get to that point where Real Madrid want to come for you, Real Madrid get you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to get you because from Chelsea, honestly, where else do you go other than Real Madrid?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially for an English player.
If you're looking at it that way, then I never saw it that way. I was just like, 10 years is a long time to tie me down for.
Yeah, no, I think he's golden. Like, he's going to win what he wants at Chelsea, I reckon.
He's got a Premier League in him.
I reckon he will. I reckon he will. Well, he does have a Premier League in him from City. So, but no, but his own.
I forget that.
I reckon he will, but yeah, like I say.
So it's his team. Chelsea is his team.
Has to be. Of course.
Oh, actually, that's a dumb question.
Of course, has
that's
to be.
That's a stupid question. Sorry about that. Yeah,
has to be. Listen, we touched on the French League twice in Marseille and PSG. Quick mentions. Senzo wants to find out, is the French League in trouble? And if you don't watch the French League, you don't know about the French League. The French League is in a bit of shit this year. It used to be the Ligue 1. Brought to you by Uber Eats. It's now League 1, brought to you by McDonald's. A whole league brought to you by McDonald's. They lost a lot of the big name stars. PSG went with the Galactico stuff.
Yeah.
And Messi and Neymar and Mbappe all leaving quickly after each other. It's the first time PSG don't have a Galactico type player. So, they've always been having an Ibra or a Cavani or someone like that. They've always been having them. Probably their biggest name star is Dembele as a star, as a big name that we know. I don't think he's their best player by any means.
Yeah.
There's kind of a couple of guys called Bradley Barcola and Zaire Emery. Those, you got those guys, you build teams around them.
Yeah.
But more so than that is France lost their TV deal. So the money coming into League from the TV side, there had to be government intervention.
Bro, it's got messy there.
They sold the rights to DAZN. That's their broadcaster, who kind of completely undervalued them. So from those points of view, there's always crowd trouble in France.
But the thing is, a lot of teams are worrying about bankruptcy.
Yeah, huge. I mean, when you see a club like Bordeaux, a whole Bordeaux, like if they won Ligue 1, they were competing, they were in Champions League. Bro. And they're now been relegated, they collapsed. They're a Phoenix club.
Yeah, bro.
So if that can happen to a club like Bordeaux, who's safe?
Exactly. So, I don't know, man.
Well, the thing with France, what it's always been, France, and they've repositioned themselves as the League of Stars.
Yeah.
And that's what they're very good at, producing players to sell on to the bigger teams. Yeah. And you just have to look at the makeup of kind of like this new generation of the French national team that's being built. Have a look at their under-21s. Have a look at their Olympic side.
Actually, Media Pro really F them there.
Yeah, no, totally did.
Out of that 800 million, they said, listen, we're not going to do this. I think a lot of that hinged on Mbappe.
It would, though, because, your product's getting devalued. You're kind of going... the PSG and what they did, of course, that's the only reason you really want to watch what's happening in France, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, those guys going, you go, well, I understand what you're doing, but,
But, listen to the clubs that were fearing bankruptcy, like Montpellier, Nantes, Rennes, and Lens. They were like, bro, we're in crap.
I know.
Imagine, bro.
Those are all of those have won the league and been in the Champions League in the past 15 years.
Yeah, bro, imagine. And if you're not owned by a billionaire like Nice or Monaco or Saint Etienne or PSG, then what?
Yeah.
So this place has the potential to go Super League.
France?
Yeah.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I think I don't
because
think...
Nice, Monaco, Saint Etienne, and PSG, they're like, okay, cool. Besides being like those teams, come on. If you got billionaire status behind you, we're gonna be all right wherever.
And you know what the thing with the French league, before PSG came in and dominated. Okay, and you also had that period of Lyon, also I think won 7 in a row.
7, 8, yeah.
But before that, the French league, I think there was a period of 10 years where no one defended the trophy. There was a new winner for
awesome.
10 years, something like that.
That'd be awesome, though.
Nantes were winning it.
Montpellier
Won it. Giroud, remember young Giroud?
Giroud.
Who was there was Giroud, and he had a Moroccan or an Algerian, like 2IC in that side with him. Oh, I forget the name. That dude was absolute man. Never really went on to really repeat what he did, but he was so magic. I remember Wenger was trying to get the two of them over to Arsenal at that time. So listen, France will survive. I think, as long as you're producing good players, Macron can always just go to his his little friends, his Qatari friends, just turn on that tap.
Come on, boys, please.
Macron is not averse to asking them, those are his new sugar daddies. Give me some cash for my league.
Macron. But like, I don't know. But like for me, I don't know if you've ever watched like the French league, like consistently. Like for me, it's just, it's lukewarm for me. Do you notice like the first team has to, like your first team rugby has to practice against the under 16ers.
But that's the thing. It's quite a raw league.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
But they just that little bit unpolished.
Yeah.
But how many players haven't we seen come from Ligue 1 and do really well in the Premier?
True, but like it's not like, okay, when you watch Bundesliga, you can see it's organized. You can see here,
Yeah.
I'm getting entertained.
Yeah.
Because the quality of football in the Bundesliga, guys, let's not lie, it's very good. It's
very high,
it's top notch. And it's not like watching City go bash like Sheffield United in England. So I don't know.
Not a fan of the French. You think French league's in trouble? Listen, you mentioned the Super League. I think this kind of a civil war that's starting to brew between the Premier League and City and some of the bigger clubs and kind of what's happening there. I think Super League's going to be back on the table very soon.
You think it's imminent?
I think breakaways, some sort of breakaway.
Yeah.
The players making noise about too many matches, blah, blah, blah. I reckon Super League is back on the table, especially if, City were all very righteous on the first Super League move. And now they're pissed off. They're going to take their ball.
But they got a big win in terms of that one sponsorship ruling or how they proved it. I don't know, bro.
And kind of the teams who backed their corner and, were on their side was very interesting. Because you think everyone would pile on to City.
Yeah.
And they kind of went, because everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
They're all doing the same thing. So everyone's kind of like, okay, cool, whatever. Listen, I think Super League's back on the table. For that, our final point from the fiver side is Senzo thinks that these new competitions, the way they structure, is that you can fluke your way to the Ballon d'Or. Explain yourself.
My man, listen, all you have to do is get hot in Champions League. Because now that UEFA Player of the Year has been absorbed by they're going to do it at the Ballon d'Or ceremony.
Yeah.
And if you win Champions League, Paulo, and if you're UEFA Player of the Year, tell me you're not going to win Ballon d'Or. You can tell me right now you won't win Ballon d'Or. Of course you will.
Doesn't it make sense though? Because in the year that there's not a tournament, surely you win.
But what year isn't there a tournament? There's a tournament every time.
Oh, we're talking World Cup. Let's talk World Cup or Euros. Those are always going to be the influence.
Yeah.
The big influences.
Okay.
So it makes sense that if you're outstanding in the Champions League, they're going to give it to you. So it's basically a glorified Champions League Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the whole concept, it's very much a generational thing. And I think like my generation, just a little bit, we don't find, like, that's not interesting to, Michael fucking Owen won the Ballon d'Or. I was like, what are you talking about?
I think in our year, like when we were growing up, like Ballon d'Or didn't hold that much weight.
No, it doesn't mean anything. It's
a popularity contest.
It's a new thing now. They may as well just make it a fan vote. May as well just be
honestly because
EAFC cover star gets it.
Because exactly. No, because I think Ballon d'Or only mattered when Ronaldo and Messi were not mattered, but like now it's when people are like
because people love that.
But also the thing is they're the only two. Yeah, but
what was it?
I mean, Pavel Nedved won Ballon d'Or, and people were like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
When Henry was devastating everything in front of him.
You see, but again, that goes back to it because he was doing well in the Champions League. Juventus were doing well in Champions League then.
But they weren't winning it though.
But Henry wasn't even further away. He was further away from it. I don't know. I just found the concept.
So guys, you look at who's won the Ballon d'Or from 2000 onwards. So Michael Owen 2001, 2002, who won it? Ronaldo. 2003 Zidane. 2003 was who's this guy? We just mentioned his name now. Pavel Nedved.
Yeah.
2004 can't even remember. 2005 was Ronaldinho. 06 Cannavaro. 07 Kaká. Then became the Ronaldo thing show. And then after that, I was like, bro, like
but
honestly,
just look at that of how few players did back to back. It was 1-1-1-1-1-1.
But also, trust me, I wasn't checking for Cannavaro.
No, man. It wasn't a big
Were you checking for Cannavaro? Were you checking for Nedved? Were you checking for Shevchenko?
Who cares? 04
was Shevchenko, by the way.
Who cares? Okay, yeah. It was that whole thing that they turned into something because it was an extension of the Ronaldo and Messi rivalry. And it was just, so now it turned into something. And now you're kind of like, okay, those two are gone. Well, now that Mbappe and Haaland. Listen, Haaland, if you want to talk, like we spoke about it, fantastic goal scorer. He'll win a lot of goal scoring, will break a lot of goal scoring records.
Trust me.
He is not a fantastic player.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic goal scorer.
Ask R9 now. Would he sacrifice one of his Ballon d'Ors for a Champions League? And I bet you'll say yes.
Oh, for sure. Or for another World Cup, 3 World Cups, he'll take it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but like, you're right. Because I also don't really care for Ballon d'Or because, bro, you know quality. Quality is quality. Whether even Mbappe doesn't finish like in top 5, like you know what's up. Even Jude Bellingham knows what's up.
I mean, R9. Do you want to win swap your Ballon d'Or for the 98 World Cup?
Do you? Yes.
You know,
or do you want to swap it for a Champions League?
Yeah.
Something that he doesn't have. He'll tell you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Quickly, straight away.
Anyway, a guy who never won the Ballon d'Or is coming up. We're talking about a sports documentary that I want to recommend to you called The Figo Affair.
That he never won. He did win the Ballon d'Or.
He did win it.
He did win the Ballon d'Or. Figo won everything. Well, everything except for Portugal. But anyway, that's a story for another time.
Don't go there. That's ugly. So Senzo and I were not watching sports or watching sports documentaries.
That's right.
And one from probably about 18 months ago, but the story is a fantastic and interesting story.
It's the best story ever.
It is called The Figo Affair. It is on Netflix, and it's a player that, like, I think kind of missed this. A lot of young people, I feel for him because he was the first Galactico. Okay.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah,
but then he got overshadowed almost instantly.
Oh, bro,
at one stage, he was the most expensive player in the world.
Yeah.
So Figo,
57 million euros.
And then for Portugal, yes, he was the star, but you're right, because he never won anything. And then Ronaldo came along.
Yeah.
So kind of like he was the guy, but
the almost guy,
you know, like he was the best Portugal had.
No, but like real G's know what Figo is. The real G's know what Figo is.
Figo came through from Sporting. Again, he won the Ballon d'Or. Sporting, the only club that's produced 2 Ballon d'Or winners. You
don't.
I never miss a chance to say that.
Tell us,
I never miss a chance to say that.
Don't miss a beat, yeah.
So he comes in, and the Figo Affair covers the story. And I remember it happening so clearly at the time because it was 93, 94, round about then. That's when you're bonkers. I was 13, 14. You're bonkers about soccer. We're
mad for Figo.
We're starting to get soccer from Portugal here. My dad had this massive satellite dish.
Oh, yes.
In the garden, so we could watch Portuguese matches. I was starting to get the newspapers and magazines and stuff. We're able to get.
Now you really know what's going on.
That's it, right? And you're really into it, and that's when you start really getting. And Figo was just fucking.
Actually, you're right. Hey, You're not as football crazy as you were when you were 14, 15.
No, that's
your peak. That's the peak of when you were nuts about it.
Like, you know, you can name the Southampton starting 11.
Yeah.
At that age, you know.
Bro, I knew the Rapid Vienna starting 11.
Exactly. I know. It's I knew shit like that as well.
My own friend Ivo and I, we used to talk about random leagues, and people were like, "How much football do you guys watch?" We're like, "Bro, don't even try us."
That's it. That's you knew.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's still
Pro
today.
Direct Football, we used to go check beats and stuff like that. Oh my god! You
used to get the pamphlets and the shoots and match.
You feel me?
And but listen, I'm sure it's kids are like that as well. But that's your peak years, and Figo now comes through at my club Sporting, and he's this right winger, and he's just
blitzing everything.
Oh, he's just like, and it's the same time Ryan Giggs is around, so you're kind of like, wow, this is the epitome of footballers at the moment.
Oaks are tearing it up.
And you're just going, wow, these guys are the things, right?
95, I was a bit young, but like I was starting to you know, I knew Man United wore it, and then that's the only thing I knew. Yeah.
And Figo also has the legend of winning the under-20.
When Figo had the hair, man.
That was it. I tried to grow my hair like that. It didn't work out well. So anyway, I love the guy. And
I love Figo as well, bro.
Obviously, he
2002 World Cup. Oh man, when him and Conceição were just dribbling everything.
So this all happens before that. So he does. Oh yeah, no, this is about that time. Yeah. So he doesn't win the Portuguese league, wins the Portuguese Cup, and of course now the Serie A teams are all over him. And Parma were hot. Parma at this time
they were Parmalat.
Yeah, they're sponsored by Parmalat.
Parmalat.
They had huge cash, and they had Zola was up in there.
Yeah,
Crespo was in there. Veron, Cannavaro, Buffon was there.
Yeah.
They were the side.
Yeah.
Tino Asprilla was there.
Yeah.
In this team, and they wanted Figo, right? And so did Juventus.
Yeah.
So the story, and what the Figo affair doesn't cover, is who signed what. Because the allegation is that he signed contracts with both teams. And then the Figo affair kind of now pitches him against his agent of like, you signed this, I signed, but it's never clear who signed what. So then, of course, he gets banned from playing in Italy, right? Okay, so Barcelona swoop in. Bobby Robson was Barcelona manager at the time. He knew Figo from his time at Sporting, and then he bought over Figo, Vitor Bahia, and Fernando Couto. Had a bit of a Portuguese crew going in there.
Bobby Robson was the he knew what he was doing.
Now, Figo's impact at Barcelona, to just explain to you, Pep was at Barcelona at this time.
Yeah.
Figo became the leader. Figo was the captain.
Was the guy.
But Pep was Barcelona. Think about that.
Exactly.
So, and this was kind of the transition of the Barcelona dream team.
Yeah, for Koeman and them.
Romario, Koeman, Stoichkov, and a youngish Pep. And then now Figo comes in, the
R9.
next generation. And
I forget R9 played for Barcelona.
He played there for one season.
And he lit it up.
And so I just think the thing about saying Pep was there and Figo became the captain.
Yeah.
And he spoke Catalan. Kids were born there. They loved him. They loved him. And then again, he felt like he deserved a new contract, which I don't think he was.
Because Figo at Barca was the guy.
He was the guy. He was the leader. He was everything.
He was undisputed guy.
And he was so good.
That's the thing.
And then, of course, there was an election going on at Real Madrid. Perez trying to get in.
This is when Birdman Perez, the legend of Birdman Perez, arises.
And he makes a promise. He says, we're going to build this on Galacticos, and if you elect me, I'm signing Figo.
Imagine how wild that must have sounded.
I mean, that would be like saying, if you elect me as Real Madrid president, I am going to buy...
At the height of the Messi Ronaldo thing, and he goes, I'm getting Messi.
I'm getting Messi. That was basically it. That was the equivalent of what... And everyone got, never. You're never going to do it.
You have no chance.
And he did it. He did it.
Perez. I've never doubted Perez ever since that day. When Perez says, guys, I'm entering this race, you must know it's over.
But of course, what it shows a lot is Figo now his turmoil, because he goes, how the fuck can I leave Barcelona? He was hoping he's going to call Barcelona's bluff. He's like, they will never let me go to Real Madrid. They will never.
Never. Not in a million years.
And the rest is history. He goes to Real Madrid.
World record fee at that time.
Becomes the first Galactico. He never performed as well at Real Madrid. Listen, I'm not saying never performed as well. Won Champions League. He did the things.
Yeah,
right?
But it's just that it's Real Madrid, bro.
Did he win the Champions League?
Of course he did.
He did. So he did.
2002.
He did.
By the grace of Zidane.
See, but and that was the thing, right? Because he's there. Zidane comes the next year.
Beckham's there.
Beckham comes. R9. Roberto Carlos. So he was more successful, but he wasn't that free spirit that he had, because
he even put the thing together. It was just like you were
Barcelona,
there.
he was free.
I make things happen
wherever you need to go. I mean, Rivaldo was a teammate.
There was a thing of, because Beckham and Figo played the same position.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, one of you is going to have to
and
be
they
a man.
And to the credit, they did. They adapted. They adapted.
We're not here for other people's egos, because, but what are you going to do? I mean, you're Beckham and you're Figo. And you look across in the change room. Oh, guys, there's a Dan and R9.
I think that was the thing we were talking about, kind of like Real Madrid now with Mbappe, and they're all just like, hey, let's just be grown-ups here. Yeah. And the original Galacticos were like that as well.
Yeah.
They were all like, no, we're all fucking great players. And I'll go here and you'll go there and we'll go, because they also didn't. They also didn't have.
There was no guy,
and they didn't have a superstar manager. Can you name the managers who were there at the time?
Luxemburger, Capello.
Right. Capello came later.
Juan de Ramos.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We're not exactly talking Ancelotti.
Camacho.
Right. They were grown-ups. They said, we'll sort it out. We're sorting it out. And anyway,
But also, I mean, imagine, because even Beckham says in his documentary, imagine you go to training first thing. Oh, you're just casually sitting there, and then, There's Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, that's it. What you going to do?
What you going to do?
So that is the Figo affair. It is on Netflix. Do yourself a favor. There is the English dub you can watch it with.
The English dub doesn't do it.
No, watch it in Spanish and Portuguese for the subtitles.
Because the thing is,
With
exactly.
subtitles, yeah.
And the thing is, you get the true grit.
Because another player that pops up in it is a Portuguese legend who was kind of Figo before Figo, Paulo Futre.
Yeah.
Okay. He's one of the only players who played for all three big clubs in Portugal, played at Atletico Madrid. He was Figo before Figo. He was like the first Portuguese superstar.
You can get a pig's head thrown at him, though.
No, but his inclusion is hilarious because he acts like he did the whole thing.
Wait, hold on. Figo did play with Rivaldo, right?
Figo played with Rivaldo.
I think he might have clocked it.
Yeah, not bad, yeah.
Figo might have clocked it. Think about it.
He didn't do badly. His teammates weren't bad. Playing from Rivaldo to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Bro,
you know,
Figo might have clocked it.
He also played, listen, do you remember the Bulgarian playing Balakov?
Yes.
Figo played with him at Sporting. Balakov was, a magician.
Guys, come on, man.
Balakov was a magician. Hey, listen, maybe we should...
He played with Zlatan as well.
Okay, you know what? Listen, coming up our next little feature, we've got Goat Farm. It's a time of year where the new EAFC/FIFA comes out and you see it all over the place. People are excited about it. In Goat Farm, we induct FIFA International Soccer, the first version of FIFA that came out in 1993-94.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about that, but we've got to do new Goat Farms. Is Figo on our Goat Farm next week?
He has to.
All right, you heard it here first.
He has to.
Here is Goat Farm inducts FIFA International Football. You are probably, maybe before you listen to this, after you listen, while you're listening to this, playing EAFC, right?
Yeah.
You're probably playing
EAFC 24.
You're probably playing that. You different play FIFA. Okay? You play that along the way. But I want to go back because my goats are very 90s. Okay? Very 90s.
Prime 90s.
Prime 90s. I'm going to go back.
Like Mike Lowry 90s.
Shh. Hey, you saw that. You want to talk about 90s. Will Smith let me down so much.
Mike Lowry. Bro, think about Mike Lowry. Go back to that time.
Let me go back to that time. Yeah. Well, before Will Smith was a little bitch. Right. Okay. So, my Goat Farm takes you back the FIFA EA video game series to the beginning, because everything started somewhere.
Right.
And the first iteration of the FIFA video game, a game called FIFA International Football, also known as FIFA 94.
Mm-hmm.
This was FIFA 94, right? I remember getting this on the Sega Mega Drive.
Oh my goodness.
I was going to say, what device did you play this on?
So my best friend had it on Sega Mega Drive. I had it on computer because I was into... I preferred PC gaming then.
Sure.
Right?
PC gaming was...
Well, I mean, it was the only way back then. I mean, were there any consoles?
Yeah, consoles because you had Nintendo.
You had Nintendo.
And then you had the Sega, the Mega Drive.
PlayStation came out in 98.
Yeah. So
the PS1 is out in 98. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
PlayStation dropped in 98.
But there were... I just preferred PC games. I just preferred having a PC.
PC was...
That's just what I preferred. I just preferred that. I had the Nintendo. Not the Golden China, proper Nintendo. But yeah, I just preferred that.
Wait, was it a GameCube or is that a different thing?
GameCube came later.
Nintendo 64, my friend.
Yeah, there was Nintendo 64 as a GameCube. So they came after. So what, in Nintendo you had the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, then you had Nintendo 64.
Then Nintendo 64.
Then you had just Game Boy.
Yeah,
then you had Game Boy.
Game Boy was pretty much...
You did have GameCube. There was a GameCube.
GameCube came...
I don't think
someone had a GameCube.
No, it comes South Africa, though.
GameCube replaced 64.
Okay, well, this is irrelevant because I played on Sega Mega Drive.
Curious.
You played on Sonic, right?
Which came built into the console.
Yeah.
So you buy the consoles, Sonic was built into it already.
I mean, he's the guy.
But of course, when you're a soccer mad kids, got a video game console, you want a video game, so
this is the first one.
FIFA 94, FIFA International Soccer.
The one that started everything.
Wow.
Nowadays, you have...
think of it as FIFA's democracy. You see South African FIFA, they said same WhatsApp group.
Same one.
They said same WhatsApp group. You see, I see you.
Now the FIFA, EA, whatever, cover stars. Huge thing.
Yeah.
Who's on cover now? Haaland.
Haaland's the FC, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, FC.
But we had Rooney, Kaká, we've had Messi.
Messi, Ronaldo. Messi,
No, Ronaldo was never on.
He was 2017.
Ronaldo,
Yeah.
But they checked because he was Konami.
2017 was from Dortmund.
Yes,
Marco
Royce.
Marco Royce.
But I know Ronaldo was on twice. He was on as when he was at Madrid, and he was on at Juve.
Henry's been on, but it's a big thing.
It's a huge thing.
It's a huge thing. So let me tell you who was on the cover.
Alone.
On the cover of
Alone.
FIFA 94.
No sharing.
David Platt.
We've come a long way. Wait, hold on.
Wow.
And David Platt and Peter. It's a Polish name.
Wow, that's a mouthful right there.
A Polish player who I'm not even gonna.
Can you try to say it? Senzo?
Look, it's safe to say with 15 clubs he was a journeyman. So
yeah,
okay. But David Platt, we know him. England,
I mean, if he's on the cover,
Aston Villa. Yeah. Okay, but not the big thing it is now, right? To be on the cover now is huge, right? So that was FIFA International Soccer. So,
bro,
it was only international. Okay, you could only pick from international teams. 48 international teams. All the big Asians. Algeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Morocco, Nigeria. CONCACAF teams.
Wait, you said it was FIFA International.
Only international sides. Only international sides.
Right.
Look at
the bottom row.
They only got the club licenses
Yeah.
the year after, right? So you got all the big European, you got all the big teams in there,
Oh, they're still struggling with some of the licenses. But...
including Israel and Luxembourg.
Oh, wow.
Okay, they will.
No, but I mean that's a lot for the first edition.
Yeah.
I mean that's a lot.
You knew the teams, you knew the countries, you didn't know the players because they didn't have player licenses. There were no such thing as FIFA Pro. So every now and again, Maradona's in the game. But he's a Maradona and he's a goalkeeper.
No, come on now. What are we doing?
So you had a play 8-bit game. You had a play, I don't know, it was 8-bit or 16-bit. You had a play with unknown players, but we didn't care because we didn't know better. This was the first video game you had in your house. And back in the day, there was no such thing as knowing the players. It was normal.
No, but also this started
FIFA leveled up in 98.
A revolution.
So the game comes out and we're going nuts. So this is my my fourth inductee. Apologies. My fourth inductee into Goat Farm. First video game is
the only video game.
The one that started it all.
Yeah.
So you remember it fondly because you played. We used to play hours on this thing.
Oh, bro.
Oh, man. We used to play absolute hours on this thing.
Wait, I'm just curious, Senzo, what was your first FIFA that you had?
Like FIFA 98, I think.
You had FIFA 98?
Yeah,
so mine was
computer.
also on PC, Paulo. Mine was FIFA 03, and that had Terry Henry on the cover.
Yeah, by himself.
Yeah, by himself. And that was, but also it was so frustrating to play.
03,
I got it late.
That means you had 02. Because 03 was Giggs, Roberto Carlos, and Edgar Davids.
So then it must have been 02. Oh.
So what I've loaded up here is I've actually found, you know, on one of these the ports, what do they call it? It's like a ported game, an emulator. So you can actually go online right now on a website called retrogames.nz or CZ, I'll play for you, where you can actually play yourself FIFA International Soccer.
Wait, I'm curious to see the graphics on this.
Oh, Ryan, you are curious. So what I'm going to load up, a quick exhibition game between England
quick game.
and the United States. We can change the languages the game. Choose your controller side, which was quite au fait. Even a little bit of commentary pops up.
It's wild that I was alive during this time.
What they took inspiration from is that the Madden games, which are huge now, I think it's the only game that actually comes anywhere near to selling close to the FIFA EA
Madden's
games.
fun.
Madden.
Yeah.
Because obviously you got the whole American market.
No, sport games.
Yeah,
sport. No.
Madden is complicated.
No, I think Madden pushes FIFA very close on sales. So you have...
But Madden's fun though.
They took inspiration from Madden for this game. Basically, based the game engine on it. You get a little bit of a commentator coming in, talking a bit of nonsense. And then you just have state. You can do a coin toss, which I think is something that we miss in modern games, right? And as you can see there, that is a state of the 90s video game graphics. Now, if you want to go on and you will play this game yourself, you're going to play on your computer. You got to use your arrows and keys as whatever. The players run in different places. It's going to be a terrible experience for you that you're purely going to play out of a retro type of experience. The website with this retrogames.cz.
That's very cool.
retrogames.cz, and you can play the game. So now, of course, the thing it kicks off is the FIFA franchise, because the next year they release FIFA 95, which is now brings in all the clubs. Now it's FIFA as we know it, got the official licenses. Even the gameplay is a lot better. And the crazy thing about it, to think within a year how quick the advancement was.
No, I don't think it was a year, Paulo. I'm pretty sure.
First video game was FIFA 95.
But the thing
This is my
right?
goat farm.
The thing is about this must have been planned.
This is my farm, boy.
It must have been planned. Like while they were doing, they probably released 94 just to get a taste of it, but they would have had to been in deals with clubs way before.
No, sure. But or it was just easier to get deals there because no one was sophisticated.
Actually, maybe.
I'll tell you guys the best thing about playing this game. This is what part we love. And listen, you think fights evolve. We often see those videos, and we've been in those situations where people like rage quit on you, people throw remotes, whatever. You think things get violent playing FIFA now. Let me tell you about this game.
Boy.
You could do two things. You could turn off offsides,
Nice.
and you could turn off fouls.
No, come on, bro. What
Let's
are we
see,
doing?
that only came in like 20.
So bare knuckle soccer.
Basically.
Do you remember like that only came in back? Oh, I'm gonna say it came back in like in 2018 or FIFA 19.
So FIFA can turn off
Damn
offsides.
this thing has ruined many friendships.
For a while you couldn't.
Well,
Because there's tired of
it
people
came
ruining
back.
friendships.
let me tell you, 13, 14-year-old kids being able to turn off fouls.
And offside's over.
Offsides is one thing, fouls.
Yeah.
The amount
I'm
of
finishing you.
Wait. But could you also turn off the injuries?
You could turn off injuries.
Oh.
No, but you'd play it. You'd agree. Injuries on, fouls off.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah,
you-
but you could turn it off.
Because you know, Ryan, you know why this is interesting? Because guess what happens when you're a kid? You go to your friend's house, you play a little bit of Sonic. You know what other game's hot right then? The first time it comes to console, the original Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
So you got Bloodlust.
Oh, bro, now you're angry
now
now.
you're angry.
Sub-Zero has just ripped out my spine,
Fatality.
and now I'm going to kill your centre forward.
One-on-one on the keep, I'm going to hack him.
But here's another cool thing that it did. So if you left your fouls on, and you now tackle somebody and the ref wants to come to you, you could run away from the ref.
What do you mean?
and he couldn't book you or send you off. So you just...
So what, he just leaves you?
You'd run away. He'd chase you for a bit, and then you'd just stop. So
Wow.
that was the other hack. You leave it on, you absolutely murder another player. Ref tries to send you off, you just run away from him.
Can I tell you, this reminds me of when I used to play WWE and you could knock out the ref. I don't know if you can still do that. But back then you could. You would take a chair and absolutely knock the ref out and go completely nuts on the players.
No, man.
Finish him.
That's very cool.
Finish him. FIFA
Get over
style.
here.
So, like I say, the game sold okay, but more than anything, it kicked off the absolute behemoth.
A demon.
I mean, what do people say now? Come to my house, we're going to play FIFA.
Whole night.
People still
It's
say
still
that,
called
right?
FIFA.
People
Grown
still
ass
say
men.
it.
No, so
Yeah, people still say
in
that.
2021, I was going to my
The
mate's
South
house.
African champion, didn't he win like almost 200,000 Rand last week at Rage?
yeah.
They crowned him. Man.
No, but
Pizza, beers.
you see, the only
FIFA.
reason for the name change is because for the longest time, as you said, EA was the sole license holder for the game. And so the reason why it changed was because that contract came up and they didn't renew, and now they've opened it for other developers to actually develop another FIFA
Because FIFA are greedy.
because FIFA are greedy.
They like money.
Yeah.
So now it's like, for example, I don't know if it's happening, but like, for example, 2K could produce a FIFA if they wanted to. Because now it's no longer exclusive to EA.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Because remember PES?
Yeah.
Yes.
I really didn't like it, but it was the closest
It was
thing to a FIFA there
PES
was.
used to be better. Like it used to when it first came out, we were like, yeah.
Pez was fantastic.
I didn't like the controls on. I know you could change it, but I just didn't like the
So
play
I
on it.
always loved Pez more. Always preferred Pez.
really.
Yeah, a lot of people tell you that because they say the gameplay was just
Yeah.
smoother.
And people are like, oh no, the teams aren't the same. It's like, oh, dude, after like a while, you don't even
really
care.
don't care, bro.
But then they collapsed Pez, and now they got this terrible thing called eFootball.
Yeah, no,
Right?
yeah,
I downloaded it the other day to try see. Okay, let me.
Heck.
No, because they couldn't sell it. So they had to, the only way you could do it is a Fortnite like
Free to play, yeah.
free to play system.
Oh, it is a mess. It's an absolute mess. So you know,
But also like I don't know if you've seen it. How much was that, by the way, back then? when it first came out. How much was 94?
You know what, man?
$200?
They were always expensive. Video games have always been expensive.
No, but is it as expensive as it is now? Because I feel like
But you
video
have to
games now.
you have to take into relation and what time you.
No,
It
of
was the
course.
equivalent.
But I'm saying if it's the first like game,
So how much does a PS5 cost?
well, in South Africa, PS5 is like what, 12
I
grand?
checked yesterday.
13 grand?
12 grand.
How much is a
I'm thinking
PS5
about-
game?
So if you wanted to get EA
Min 1.5.
FC,
Yeah, 1.5. So think of it like that. So
about
whatever.
$1,200.
So what a PlayStation costs like a grand 2. A game was about $200.
No, and I remember when consoles were $200 and games were 20. Video games have
Yeah.
always been expensive.
Yeah, they're always.
No, because I
They've
remember
always
paying
been-
like $500 for FIFA 09, like back in the day.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But like that was whack, and
Bro,
now it's like you're
the
paying
first-
1,200 rand.
The first, like on PlayStation 2, when PlayStation 2 came out, when it dropped, bro, a game was $900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
You see, and what we didn't have then, because I think some of the things they've done now, okay, they screw you on subscriptions and they'll give you some games. Because I saw EA, if you have a EA Game Pass, you pay 50 rand and you pay half price for EAFC.
Yeah, my brother did this.
Yeah, but then you can play the previous one for free.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can get FIFA 23 for free.
Hey, listen, at the time as kids, we couldn't just download download a
My
game.
dog, you won't eat at the tuck shop for 3 months because you
No,
want that
but,
FIFA.
no, but can I tell you?
Honestly,
no,
am I wrong, Paulo?
And you make friends with people who you don't really want to be friends with, but they got.
Oh,
No.
bro, yeah.
No, but can I tell you why I like the older model? It's because they used to make games complete. Now they release games half complete, and now you have
gotta
to
buy the
buy
rest.
add-ons
Yeah.
or
They're
they
milking you
take a while
guys.
to update because so many games are dropping. They're trying to get ahead of the curve, so they drop the games early, and then they have to send updates. Back then, the game had to be finished,
Or
and it had to be flawless.
Or you can do like Rockstar did with GTA and release a teaser trailer 2 years before the game comes out. So basically, what this little segue has proven is that video games and football was way simpler when we were playing FIFA International Soccer on the Sega Genesis
When life was easy.
with David Platt as the cover star.
David Platt, eh?
That is the
They've
latest,
come a long way.
the latest inductee into Goat Farm. This is fun, guys. I'm having fun.
Way too much fun, bro.
I'm enjoying it. We're going to go play some of that FIFA International on here.
Cool.
When we finished playing FIFA International Football back then, our controllers smelt of flings or cheese curls and 14-year-old sweat.
Yes, bro.
The 14-year-old sweat is the worst sweat.
14-year-old sweat, bro, because it's a lot of testosterone.
Oh, man. A lot of testosterone, very
Bro,
little soap.
Do you think as a 14-year-old, if they ask you to do a doping test now, what would your testosterone level through the roof? bro.
Everything.
Through the roof.
Everything. Working title FC at international weekend. Maybe you get to see your family, your significant other. Spend some time with them.
Bro, but have you noticed? I don't know if your wife gets upset, like when or is your wife accepted now that football is 24/7.
Can I tell you, other than big games, I don't really run my life around football anymore. It happens as you get older. Like big games you'll watch, but on the weekend you're kind of whatever, and you'll check on your phone, you'll watch a little bit on, streaming. But yeah, it doesn't dominate my life like it used to. But yeah, listen, if you're in a relationship, you're going to be in trouble. Normally take the weekend off, a couple of international games, but spend time with the people you love. I love spending time with Senzo. This is Working Title FC.
Yes, sir.
If you want to share this with somebody and they don't know how to download podcasts, tell them to go iol.co.za. Find it there. Very easy to listen to. And, I feel like I need to end off with an inspirational quote, but I can't think of one.
If you're not first, you're lost. Ricky Bobby.
There you go.